tienes esa cosa especial, bella mariposa especial, ella con su rosa especial, todos quieren ese especial. Tú tienes esa cosa especial, bella mariposa especial, ella con su rosa especial, todos quieren ese especial.
Huzzah, I am Monk, your host. Welcome to PIDCAST episode 25, the podcast by fans, for fans, and for people who really need to vent about the Colorado Rapids. PIDCAST is a part of the Bangarang soccer community, telling soccer stories a mile in the sky and on till morning. After you're all done pressing pins into your front office voodoo dolls, come touch grass with us at our free-to-play soccer pickup around Denver. Don't forget to check out our sibling show, Summit Up, covering all things Denver Summit FC and WSL and women's sports here in 5280. Say hello to my co-host and fantasy queen, Fitouri.
Hey, everyone.
And the guy who's already has Taylor's new album, Matt.
Okay, but here's the thing. I watched that countdown live on my phone because I thought we were going to get Reputation, Taylor's version, and Reputation is by far my favorite Swift album. I'm not mad that we're getting TS12, Life of a Showgirl, Jump Off Queen, but I was really hoping for Reputation, Taylor's version. Yeah.
Fascinating. Wait, Monk, do you have a favorite Taylor Swift album?
I do not actually have a favorite Taylor Swift album. I couldn't even tell you the names of the albums, to be honest.
1989 is Glory, but I might be a folklore girl. I really like
a
folklore.
Folklore girl?
I love American Dynasty
Who hurt
and the one.
You?
Well, I'll show you the list.
Just imagine a scroll comes down on the YouTube episode of names while you're talking.
Here, let me share my screen.
Yeah.
Oh, no. The Last Great American
Speaking of
Dynasty
voodoo dolls.
and the one.
All right.
Oh.
That's the thing about T Swift, Monk, is there is an era for everyone. I could see you being a Midnight Skirly or being an original Jump Off Speak Now kind of gal.
I think he's Speak Now, actually.
I could see him in the shower. No, when he's driving his motorcycle and he's got the helmet on and no one can hear him belting, he's just singing Speak Now.
I need the most teenage angst she can give. That's what I want.
Yeah, that's about right. Speak Now. Yeah.
She was literally a teenager, so it works. Yeah.
My ghostwriter isn't here again today, apparently. So today we're covering some Pidder Chatter. We have the Cruz Azul recap. We also have the Minnesota recap. Fantasy is back. And the Atlanta preview. What's going on in Pidder Chatter, guys?
All right, so we had some Navajo transfer rumors. Just as Rapids fans were deep into their August cardigans with the Georgi Mihailovic news that he was leaving the last great American dynasty for Canada, Fluminense samba'd in for the one and threatened to keep us in sad girl fall evermore. 'Tis the damn season for trade rumors, and I suppose having the type of players teams want to gold rush for $16+ million is one of those champagne problems. Fortunately, word is Porig Smith wouldn't tolerate it, and Pids fans can find happiness that Hoffa appears to be staying. Chris Armas took away some of our closure in this matter by saying, quote, things can happen quickly, so long story short, stay tuned. Such is the life of a Brazilian showgirl.
That would hurt so much, to be honest. At a certain point, take the money. There is a certain point where you're just if they offer enough, but I feel like that's going to hurt so much to lose both Georgie and Hoffa in the transfer window right now. That's just, and you saw what he did. We're going to talk about it a little bit. He had an assist. He was definitely carrying his weight in the last game, and I think that would just there's a certain point you give up enough players, it's hard to start keeping chemistry and that going. I feel like.
We've talked about it. The Rapids like to try things on expert mode, so we were like, hey, let's play Minnesota without a 10, and I could see them being let's finish out the season without a 9. It's just like a countdown. 10, 9. Uh-oh, who's next? 8.
Wouldn't that mean we'd have 0 DPs at that point, right?
Well, no. So, like, if you're going to take one of the wheels off the car, you got to take the other so that way we can go 2-wheel, because 3 wheels is just a little weird. It's a little shaky. But
yeah, I
think
mean, and if by the end of the season we're carrying the car, we still have a car.
just Ollie Larraz and Cole Bassett, Fred Flintstoning it, feet out of the bottom with their just like world-class abilities to run.
Stefan just yelling at him from the trunk.
Yeah, I mean, if we still have Cole and Larraz at the end of the transfer window, but it is only August 12th.
No, I think for real though, if they're gonna come for Hoffa at those high numbers and Hoffa wants to go back, like go stunt in Brazil King. Like we're totally with that. And you get, like we talked about in the Georgie thing, you're getting up into those echelons of prices that are just like too big to turn down for the Rapids. I think the rumor was they got up to around $7.2 million, which it might have been Burgundy Wave did the math on this because there's still a 20% sell-on clause that the Rapids would owe to Palmeiras. So we wouldn't double our money on Hoffa. And I think had we seen an offer from Fluminense where we doubled what we paid to bring him in, it'd probably be an easy front office decision to wish him well. Hoffa's my favorite player. I don't want to see him go anywhere. I think he's the heart and soul of this team with just how much blood, sweat, equity he puts into his game. But as we're going to talk about a little bit later, that not going to have a striker thing, Darren Yappy's saying, put a little respect on my name.
You're not wrong. You have been overly kind at the idea of players leaving this team, and it is a sentiment that I will publicly share, and then I still privately, the second I saw Mihailovic rostered for Toronto, I threw a bunch of Philly players on my team.
Did you watch the Toronto game?
No, he got an assist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it panned out for me. I'm saying I'm petty.
I mean, I was in my feels too, because like he basically like got off a plane and played this weekend for Toronto, and it didn't look like the players really knew how to play with him yet. And I was just like, oh, Georgie, we would have done so much better for you. But he got an assist. I think he's going to be happy up there. We're going to be happy with $8 million, and hopefully we spend that wisely. Let's talk about another South American. Alexi Manyomo is official. The Colombian kid is coming to the Rapids. Well, as official as the visa process can be. We're still waiting to see how long that takes because the Rapids, apparently like a lot of other MLS clubs, don't have the money to pony up for those $5 million Trump Gold visas. So we can't have our Rodrigos and our sons go from plane to pitch in the blink of an eye. But when he touches down, we will confirm for you. And when he gets his visa, I think that'll be the ultimate he's here moment. I really like this kid. I think he is a Colombian Hoffa at the wing position, and I think he's going to be looking for every local dentist to sign him to a sponsorship deal because he's got a smile that can light up a room. Poirier Smith had media availability this week, and we asked for his scouting report on Alexi, and I thought he gave a great and thorough answer. So we're going to go ahead and play that clip for you, and you can hear from the man that signed him himself what he thinks of Alexi Manyomo.
In terms of Manyomo, yes, he's got a wonderful smile. There's no doubt about that. But he's a terrific young player. I mean, this is a kid who's played over 20 times for the Colombian under-21 group. He was also on the extended preliminary panel for the last national camp for Colombia. So really, really talented young player who's breaking through at this point in time. He's what we would call more of an interior winger. So he loves to get on the ball. He loves quick combinations. Very technical, very talented in terms of like understanding how to find space, understanding how to bring teammates into play. and then understanding how to create, dangerous situations. Incredibly hardworking player as well, which is obviously something that's very, very important for us in our game model. We want to make sure that we've got players who can do the hard work that's needed on the defensive side. And again, I think most of you have heard me talk about this before. A lot of goals, the vast majority of goals, in fact, come from 3 or fewer passes. They come from mistakes, and having another player who can help create mistakes ultimately and create turnovers high up in the field and put us into dangerous situations, I think is going to be really important for us. So he's going to be someone that I think our guys are going to really enjoy playing with. I think Rafa will really enjoy playing with him in particular. I think he's going to cause a lot of problems. I mean, again, it's a tough thing, right? You're asking guys to come in with only 9 games to go in the season, but we think we're going to have the opportunity to kind of see him make a difference for us both at the end of this year and then going into next year, and then we'll get to make a decision next summer on the long-term position. But we're very high on him.
You guys stoked for Alexi?
I am. I'm definitely stoked. Just seems like a great talent. I feel like our wingers, even though we've had quite a few, is somewhere where we've needed somebody to really, really get up and go and take it. And I think that's where, hopefully, Alexis can do that.
Yeah, my first amalgamation is going to be if Hafa and Ted had a baby. That's Alexi Manyoma, but we'll see. Sarah, you didn't love me.
It's a visual that I'm just practicing.
I'm practicing soccer eugenics here, Sarah.
There has to be an AI that can show us what the two of theirs child would look like. But we're not going to do that because we don't like killing the planet, and also none of us need to see that.
Oh man! Speaking of wingers. News out of France today. Thank you, Axel, our French correspondent. He sent that first thing in the morning when he was reading through French sporting news.
Wait, that's my Axwell?
Axwell. Yes, you're Axwell. Yes. He's even on vacation, and he's doing the Lord's work combing French media for all Rapids related news. So Axel's reporting via another French outlet that Ligue 2 side Red Star FC, based in Saint-Ouen-sur-Seine, he's going to yell at me for that one, is circling Kevin Cabral. This squares with what we know that Kevin is looking to get his play sparked again back in his home country, France. Rapids fans aren't going to like hearing this take because of the potential roster ramifications, but I personally think Kevin should hold out and catch on with the Ligue 1 side. I think we could easily see Kevin playing with Moise in Nice or Cheeto in Nantes. But if he wants to jump on this League 2 opportunity, go off. I'll be watching League 2 once that starts then too, because apparently all the guys I like go to France to play soccer, and now I'm a French soccer fan.
Well, thank you, PIDCAST French soccer correspondent Axel, for that.
Yeah,
that fun catch.
Do you guys know what Axel's last name is?
Are you going to say that on the podcast for everyone?
Okay, never mind.
And we'll never know.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not trying to dox you, Axel. Until you're
and his home addresses, last 4 of his socials are.
Yeah. Well, until his social media personal trainer to the stars account takes off, we won't dox him. But if there are any rich people around Denver that want to pay a very direct French personal trainer to whip them into shape, we will get you Axel's number.
Yeah, really, I don't want you sharing his information because we don't need anyone poaching our French correspondent.
Yeah, totally. That's a good call. And moving on, we've got a big event this Saturday surrounding the one and only Marcelo Balboa. The bicycle kick anthropomorphized himself is having his jersey retired this weekend. There will be fireworks. There will be bobbleheads for the first 2,000 people that will be in attendance. And then after the game, we will see his jersey retirement ceremony. The number 17 will forever go up into the rafters of Dick's Sporting Goods Park to blow in the wind, get rained on, possibly struck by lightning, but otherwise remain unavailable because he is too iconic of a player here for someone else to get those digits. You
this is long overdue. Like, yeah. I am sorry, but the people that are up there deserve to be up there, but Cello was on the original team. So, like, for him to be this far behind in the retirement with how amazing of a player he is, and obviously his iconic kick and just still being a part of the league, still being a part of the Rapids. He's also coached a lot of youth soccer and stuff like that. Just, I don't know, just so long overdue. Like, he should have been up there. I'd argue one of the first jerseys retired. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead, Sarah. He talked about this on Kickback Committee. This is a jersey retirement. This isn't just Ring of Honor. This is the whole shebang. Ring of Honor, and then no one's getting 17. He joked that he picked a great number because you can't retire any of those 1 through 11s. So by 17, he made it easier for the organization to honor him. That's that type of forward thinking that you only get on defense. You got to see the game that's about to be played. Good on you. And then if I can get on my soapbox in our 3-person mission to change the lexicon in which fans talk about this team and suck a little toxicity out of the room. I'm going to play a clip for the fans of Marcelo Balboa talking about how we talk about soccer players on Kickback Committee. This is namely about the U.S. men's national team, but I think is a fantastic conversation of a former soccer great talking about how the public talks about our current soccer players. And it was really refreshing to hear. So you don't have to trust us, but I hope you trust Marcelo Balboa after this clip.
You know what? I got to be honest. Here's my philosophy is I don't need to blow out your candle to make my candle look brighter. Okay. And I think that it's very easy to beat up and be negative in life. It's very easy to beat up the U.S. national team now, you know, but 3 years ago when we were winning everything, everybody was quiet. So we go through a bad moment. So we jump on our players and we want these players to get out of the group. We want these players to succeed. We want them to represent our country, but then we proceed to beat them up. And you know what I mean? That's never understood for me. I've got this team's back. No matter what happens, I love my team. I love my country and I will always support it. So to hear me beat up a Pulisic, why? You know what? Pulisic needs a break. The only one that knows who needs a break is Christian Pulisic. Great. You need a break, brother? I am so happy. Go take it. Get your mind straight. Get your body straight. But when you come back in January, I need a freaking 100% effort from you from that day until the World Cup's over. That's what I need from you. And I think that's what we'll get. So why be so negative? Why beat up my own team when I don't feel that way? I don't feel that I need Here's the difference. I'm on Instagram. I don't care if I get likes or if I get clicks. Other people do. Other people get paid good money to talk crap on social media. Great. Enjoy it. I don't feel that way. I don't feel the need to beat up my own team. I love this group of kids. I think it's so awesome that they've exceeded so many things that we couldn't do, playing at Chelsea, winning Champions League, playing in Europe. I mean, they're doing so much that we couldn't do. Did we help? Yes. I feel so honored and privileged to be a part of that 96 group that helped open up the door to go to Mexico and after the World Cup and do other things. But at the end of the day, this is my national team, man. I will wear that jersey. They win 3 games, I'll be there. They lose 3 games, I'll be there for them. I don't need to beat somebody up to make myself feel better.
I am fired up right now.
Yeah. Let's sum it up.
All right. Yeah. So we did a thing. Our oral and now visual empire is growing. This week we launched, evil insert maniacal laugh. This week our sibling show, Sum It Up, launched their inaugural episode. Sum It Up is featuring podcast vet Kaylee Long, ball knower and FDFC jump off, Haley Guardo, and reporter extraordinaire, which you've seen on this show, Aya Al-Masyebi. You'll see the three of our faces now and again, too, especially as Sara has already booked her Sum It Up Denver Onyx crossover episode. Sum It Up jumped off with none other than Denver Summit FC president Jen Millay this week, and in a long-form 45-minute conversation that you're just definitely going to want to hear and get jazzed up for this team around. They've got some other big hitters on deck for future episodes, so be sure to stay tuned to Sum It Up for their weekly episodes. If you have room for 2 podcasts in your week, it should be PIDCAST and Sum It Up. If you have room for 3 podcasts in your week, it should be PIDCAST and Sum It Up and Taylor Swift on New Heights with the Kelsey brothers this week.
And if you can only fit 4 episodes in, you only have to listen to PIDCAST because we are that long.
If you only have room for 6 podcasts this week, listen to last week's 2-hour and 40-minute episode.
No, we didn't do that bad.
Oh, it was pretty long,
listened
Sara.
to it. It was wrong.
You're never allowed to leave us to our own devices again.
Oh my gosh. I will say, so like listeners, I listened to Sum It Up just as a fan, and I am so impressed with what you all have created. It is just remarkable to hear the energy around that team, the knowledge of the hosts you've gathered. It makes me feel like we need to step up our game. Or they're just going to leave us in the dust. But truly, everyone should go check that out. I'm excited by what we're building, and it was really cool to hear this sister podcast launch in such a really big way with so much talent.
Yeah, I mean, we're the reckless bad boys. We were here first, so I think we still get to keep our aesthetic. No?
We're the Lost Boys, and they're like, I don't know what the equivalent of Lost Boys are, who have their shit together a little better.
They're Tinkerbell, and we're the Lost Boys. Yeah,
they would have dropped a breadcrumb and went back home by bedtime.
Well, I think like Monk was saying earlier, right? We still get to hold space for angst.
We need it.
Yeah, our team was started when angst was in fashion. You know, like Nirvana times.
And our team is owned by Cronky, and that means that we have to have a lot of that teenage angst just to get through a rapid
They're not
season.
old enough to have daddy issues, okay? Talk to us in 30 years, Sum It Up.
Back in my day, there was no women's team, and we had to be fans of the MLS.
We had to go full Shakespeare and have all of our guys tuck it back and play in wigs.
We didn't even have pixels on our screens.
Wait, no, Monk. We're talking about back in the day. Back in the day.
Not current.
So it wouldn't be an appropriate joke to be back in my day. We didn't have a 10.
My day is August 12th, 2025.
No, we love the Pids. And I think like what we're hoping to model, and we hope everyone sees, there is plenty of love and energy for soccer for 2 teams in this town. And we really hope you'll support both shows because, you know, we want nothing but best for Denver Summit and nothing but the best for Sum It Up.
All right, Monk, drive us into the rest of the show.
We did play 2 games last week, which tends to be what we do every week now. I feel like every week it's a double game week, except for this one, which is nice.
Except for this one.
We played our final Leagues Cup game against Cruz Azul. It was okay. Both teams were out. It was still a solid game. Fitouri,
yeah, I can lead us through a quick summary. So the Rapids played Cruz Azul this past Thursday in LAFC. As folks are probably aware, all of these games, even the Mexican home games, were taking place in the United States. So Rapids took an earlier lead, scoring in the 3-minute mark by Rafa Navajo. And then Maxu put one in the back at the 41st, so Rapids were up 2-0. But unfortunately, Cruz Azul was able to respond back. They squeezed one in right before the half and then scored their second goal in the 78th minute, leaving the score tied at the end of regulations and sending us to everyone's favorite PKs. Unfortunately, these were not the PKs we had hoped for. Folks will remember the Rapids had a really successful run with PKs in last League's Cup. It was like kind of our signature move. This round, not so much. Unfortunately, we were blocked in one of our first 5 attempts. Cruz Azul was able to get all of theirs, leaving them as the winners of the game. Folks may remember that under the weird League's Cup rules, that means Rapids still walked away with a point. Under PKs, they get a point. Cruz Azul gets 2, but it didn't put us in the top 4 MLS teams advancing at the end of the round. So we will see Seattle Sounders, Inter Miami, LA Galaxy, and Orlando City continue in the tournament.
I believe that rule set could be from hockey, because I think hockey does that.
MLS Next Pro, baby. MLS Next Pro. Put some respect on there.
No, that's real. I'm not making that up.
No.
Oh, you're saying it also hockey did. I was like, no, I know the rules of this tournament.
Guys, every
and hockey might have
game
existed before MLS Next Pro. I'm just gonna let you all know. Maybe
Nonsense.
been ahead of that,
No,
but
we don't recognize hockey as a sport on this show.
Hockey is how white men take out
good.
their anger. It's therapy.
Yeah, it's
But
just
we
a bunch
rotated our
of white
players.
boys that wanted to find a way to be a dancer, and figure skating wasn't approved by their dads. Oh man, we're gonna get an Avalanche podcast come beat us up. They're gonna be like, meet us outside of Ballerina.
Do you know what, Avalanche podcast listening to this and ready to fight us? We will take you on 3-on-3 on any sport that is not hockey or soccer. Let's go.
But we get to bring Joker's family.
Yes.
Do you know Joker's family? I didn't say
put
which
it past
3.
Monk. Would not
didn't
put it past Monk. No.
I didn't say which 3.
No. You know what, Avalanche podcast? Let's just break bread and watch that Paul Bissonnette recap of the fight he got into at Houston's over and over again until we were just sore from laughing. I don't know if you guys have seen this video, but current hockey correspondent, former hockey player Paul Bissonnette got into a row at what he deemed family restaurant Houston's, in which he, quote, took some, gave more. They just started chucking. And it's one of my favorite clips I've ever seen. Shout out to my hockey buddy, Bill, who always brings up the Avalanche news and brought that video to our attention.
Back to soccer and a game we're talking about. It was okay. We obviously kind of rotated our lineup. We knew before the game we were out, so we rotated, and it was okay. It was okay. I'm glad that Nico got some time in net, got to take on those PKs. I think that is great experience to take on like live PKs on that level, being in a shootout like that. Maybe if Stefan's in goal, he blocks one comparatively, but still, he put on a heck of a performance during the game. Like, he saved our ass multiple times in that game. So got to give credit where credit's due. He definitely performed up to par.
And not just Nico Hansen, of course, like that PK experience is incredible. But if you look at the 5 that ended up taking our PKs who were on the field, incredible experience all around, right? So we had Alex Harris, Sydney Watuda, I always say that name weird, and Sam Bassett, all 3 who are pretty, recently called up or new to our lineup this year and haven't had that same PK experience at this level.
Yeah, I think we joked last podcast that Porig should be talking to Cruz Azul about bringing some of their players over to Colorado after this game in LA. But I think Cruz Azul, seeing the performance on the field, probably was sending some notes over to Porig saying, like, how much for Nico Hansen? Because that dude was on fire. Alex Harris was an absolute spark. The way he was manipulating space. I mean, he's not the biggest guy. I think because he's a younger guy, he'll come into the physical form a little bit more with his time with the team. But just the mental and space game and the nose for goal was on full display. And then our guy, Sydney Watuda, with the assist to get half of that goal on such a heads-up play. It was the Cruz Azul goalkeeper made a pretty ill-advised pass out of the back. Watuda, it gets intercepted maybe by Noah Kopp, taps it up to Watuda, and then Watuda puts the perfect ball out for Hoffa to just put a rope on goal. Like, Granted, it was on a broken play, but that shot that Hoffa put in was a golazo. Like you said, we saw Sam Bassett, Wayne Frederick, Jackson Travis, Noah Cobb. Talk about Noah Cobb getting in the mix, 20-year-old recent addition on loan from Atlanta United. And then another thing we were talking about in lieu of Georgie is what are we going to do with set pieces? And set pieces are something we've been talking about all season. What do we see? We see Goal Bassett put one in a spot that allows Maxu to fake the header and let it drop to his foot and just beeline it off his boot into the goal. So that's Maxu's second set piece goal in, I think, the last 6 matches. Oh, we can go back to the drawing board on that one. But we hadn't had any set piece goals the whole season, and then the Great Dane just goes, hold my beer.
It was a good game. Again, we ended up losing in PKs. I think we should move on to Minnesota. So now that we're back to MLS performances. So you want to take us on that one again, Fitouri?
So after our Leagues Cup end on Thursday, we went back to playing Minnesota. This time it was the Sunday game. We played Minnesota United in Minnesota. And that game, we had our very own Yappy Hour, and it was a hell of a Yappy Hour. So Darren Yappy put 2 in at the 60th minute and 70th minute, explaining exactly why the term Yappy Hour exists. Minnesota was able to get 1 more in at the 73rd, but Rapids were able to hold the lead this time. I think some exciting things to highlight was the just the answer to our question of what does this team look like without Georgie? And can this team put together a squad without Georgie? And we really saw a full team effort, some really good play, especially in that second half. And Rapids able to hold off a really formidable opponent for the win. What did y'all think?
Great game. Something that we talked about quite a bit is just walking into Minnesota. They're a top 4 team, solid defense. Okay, so the first half combined, we didn't have an expected goal. Like the first half, essentially there was 0 offense from either side of the spectrum. It was not pretty at all. In the second half, we got that. We brought it up. Yappy did great. Navajo's pass on that first goal, like flawless, like right on his foot, ready for that goal. That was just insane. And for him to like see that and play it, wow. And then it was Sam, right? Played up the ball from the back.
Vines, yes.
Yeah. And that was just, wow. 1-2 touching that was just gorgeous. That is the Sam Vines that we sent away, and we need to consistently show up. That touch.
Yeah, that left-footed curler up the sideline that Sam put to release the offense on that one was just like the chef's kiss emoji. Sam Vines, take a bow on that one.
Yeah, I really feel like that you touched a little bit on that Hoffa Yappy connection, and I think that's really fun to see. We haven't seen them a lot on the field together. It happens occasionally, but often they're like subbing in for each other. So I think to see the connection they can have when they get to play together was really dynamic and fun to watch.
I think it's interesting because we talk so much about everything that Hoffa does. Like Hoffa oftentimes plays like a 9, a 10, an 8, and hell, even a 6. He'll get back there and break shit up. But another thing we touched on this season is how much Yappy has kind of modeled his game after Hoffa's, or at least grown from some of the characteristics that Hoffa shows. And Yappy, we've seen a lot we've seen him in that 9 position, that 10 position, that 7 position. So you have this dual striker system where these guys can basically play that whole diamond at the top, and putting them together to play those skill sets off of each other. It's got to be a nightmare for defenses.
And he's, again, we talked about it last episode. He is 20 years old.
Yeah.
He's been playing the league for like 4 years. Like, he has so much room to grow. And hopefully he continues on this momentum, right? He struggled when he started He went quite a few games without scoring a goal, but you're starting to see him score this season. Like, he is putting it in. He's putting in the work. He's showing the talent that they saw at that 16-year-old boy playing. And you combine him with some mentorship with Hoffa, just that's going to be a very dynamic duo if we can keep them both around for a couple of seasons and not send them to Toronto.
Monk, that's such a good point that you touched on. That, like, I was talking to a friend at Pickup on Sunday, huge Rapids fan, just about, it feels like we've been watching Yappy play forever, because like he's a homegrown that's been with the organization forever, and it's worth reminding every chance you get that the Yappy is 20 years old. Like, his star hasn't even started to come on. He is so young, and getting his first MLS brace, I think, is going to be just like gasoline on the fire. He's putting the league on notice.
And it was solid, well-earned goals.
Oh yeah, those goals were epic striker goals. But nothing.
I watched the first one. That tuck in. We saw Hoffa do that. 5 games ago ish?
Yeah.
Just that tuck in at the 18, put it right in that corner low. Just like I swear you could almost mirror image those things off of each other. It was flawless.
Yeah, I do want to point out, since we talked about kind of the game form, first half being a little bit of a kind of teams feeling each other out. Chris Armas talked about how at halftime he really tried to fire up the team, and we saw it in the second half performance. So both his halftime impetus he put into the team or adjustments, I think we need to put some respect on Chris Armas's name, that he out-coached Eric Ramsey at Minnesota in this match. Rapids do a lot of the same things that Minnesota does. Granted, we've been doing ours in more of that, 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1, that kind of blends, and Minnesota's kind of stayed in their back five. Armas came in and just did like the Spider-Man meme and said, we're going to line up exactly like you do, Minnesota. We're going to do exactly like you do. We're going to give you the ball and make you try to create the game. And they suffered through Minnesota trying to create the game, and they didn't break. And then in the second half, the Rapids really put the accelerator down and took it to them. I think we're gonna be hearing a lot this week from the back five stands that have been clamoring the whole season that we should be lining up with wingbacks and 2 and 3 center backs. But I thought it was a brilliant game plan, and it put the players in a fantastic position to both weather the storm and succeed.
Just like that kind of a change in that short of a time period, right? Just to like, don't have Georgie playing Cruz, then we're playing Minnesota, a top tier team in our division, away, and to come out of a victory out of that, even if we were in insanely good form, I'd be arguing that's a hard one to walk out of with a victory, let alone like just that. What I felt was a pretty dominating performance. We looked like the better team in the second half. The first half, we both looked meh, but the second half, we just looked like the better team. And that's a lot on Armas. Obviously, our players have a lot to do with that high energy, that playing without your 10 that you just lost. But sorry, Daniel. I kind of hope he stays. Let's keep Armas around.
Yeah, and I think it's what we have noted in the past is that there are games that like there are big moments, right, where we need a win to believe in this team. And this was a moment of like, are we going to have a season? Is this season just gone now that Georgie's gone? Who's going to show up? This was a really hard game. I think even with Georgie, if we would have seen a loss away at Minnesota or a draw away at Minnesota, we would have been like, okay. And so I kudos for stepping up in this moment and showing the fans that you're playing out this season, that it's not game over.
And after this, we have 4 games of below us teams, right? We've been going up against a little bit higher talent recently, but we also got to point out that we generally have played down 2 teams below us.
We're at our best against the best teams. So while that is a good schedule boon, I don't think we should be counting our
Oh, no,
rapid
not a
men before they
challenge.
hatch. Yeah. No, but we talked about this last episode. Like, losing Georgie sucks. There's no sugarcoating that. But this is an opportunity for the other 26 guys on that roster to show up, show out, and stake their claim to be the next Rapid star. And damn it if Darren Yappy didn't do that this match. Did you see all the comments online that were like, Georgie who? And that's not shade to Georgie. That's just like, all right, Georgie's gone. We move. Chris Armas talked about them being uncommon men and that they weren't done. That narrative of the season's over is foolish. And they really made a statement against Minnesota in Minnesota's house, winning their first away game since March 15th and starting the 9-game mini season that they're framing this as their playoff push 1-0.
Matt, are you aware that you say Minnesota half the time?
I tell you guys this all the time. I'm from the Eastern Shore of Maryland, and there's really no rhyme or reason to the dialect we have down there. And it just shows up in the weirdest ways at the most inconvenient times.
Fans, listen for it, because I'm sure he's going to say Minnesota at least one more time. It's there.
Oh, at least. But
okay,
something else to point out. We've only had 3 away wins, and one of them's in Minnesota, a top 4 team, that without our 10 right after we lose him. Like, that is just like absolute insanity with how much we complained and ranted and emotionally released last episode for 2-3 hours.
Again,
hours.
Sarah, you're never allowed to leave us
5
to our
hours.
own devices again.
I'm going to make you guys go play hockey. Work this shit out.
Well, Rapids are holding the August 13th this week. Tomorrow, right? Yeah, Rapids are holding roller rink night. So we'll just bring our sticks, and I've got a ton of lacrosse balls in the garage. We can use those. I don't have any hockey pucks.
No hockey pucks? I have a few
No.
hockey pucks.
Everyone else is
nice.
going to show up in like tank tops and cute skirts, and we're showing up in like full gear with
Yeah.
rollerblades.
Yeah, we're just gonna walk in. Ducks.
It's
Speaking
quack.
of,
Like, it just completely screwed that up.
oh yeah, you're right. Speaking of flying V's, though, if we want to talk about loon hunting, I'm gonna apologize in advance to Archie because I'm about to really throw some shade at Minnesota. Can we talk about how Zach Steffen went in to the home of Prince and wore the purple goalkeeping threads and said, "You've got a prince, check out a king"? Like, that is... Put your swag on, Zach Steffen. Like, go off.
That's excellent level trolling.
Throwback. That's where we really created the podcast, was a Prince
Yeah.
concert.
Yeah, that's PIDCAST lore. It started out of a Prince cover band, Purple Rain, at the Oriental Theater in Denver. So this goes to show, go check out your local music halls with your friends, because you never know what sort of media you can conscript the next year of your life to.
Good time.
You can fantasize about us dancing later. Let's move on to fantasy. What's going on, Fitouri?
Yeehaw. Well, welcome back, everybody. I hope we all enjoyed this last week. It was a pretty standard return to fantasy with single week games after the League's Cup break. I personally really enjoyed the number of Sunday games we had, and us being one of the Sunday games, it gave me a great afternoon sitting at home watching soccer, mostly to see if I was going to be victorious in beating Matt in one of our leagues. Spoiler, I was not. But I think it was a fun week for fantasy. Some things I really wanted to highlight for folks who probably paid attention to this. It was a really big offensive week, so a lot of folks were getting their points out of the midfield. So, like, for example, I felt really great with my choices of having Dreyer, Heel, Ojeda, Mukhtar, all of whom just really showed up and all ended up in the double digits with 14 and 12 points each. I'll say my downfall this week was that I just picked the wrong captain. So I went with Evander at home in Cincinnati, and he did not show up, got 3 points. rough game. But across the board, we saw a lot of the big midfielders hitting big. This was not necessarily a week defensively. So there were only 5 clean sheets this whole week, and of those 5, 3 were away teams. So if you're kind of following best practices, you usually don't bank on away teams for a clean sheet. So if you were lucky enough to find one of those 2 home team clean sheets, or bold enough to bet on an away team, you might have found those 5 points for your midfielder or your goalkeeper for the clean sheet. But otherwise, you were probably seeing the majority of your points coming out of your midfield and maybe up top, although mostly midfield. What were y'all's thoughts on the week?
I actually won out of nowhere. I didn't change my lineup. You can tell because Milo was still my captain. So
you would have done
that.
Yeah,
he got an assist.
I know. He put up 8 points. Solid. I won with 55 points. I'm sitting like 6th, I think, in our overall points league. Like, how is that happening? What are you all doing that you're not keeping up with me? I didn't even set my lineup for like a month.
Okay, so anyways, if you want an example of what not to do,
I'm
you
top
could take
6 right now. I'm above where the Rapids are.
Or, I mean, you could have taken Sarah's approach this week. Sarah, did you beat me?
Oh.
Well, what we're really talking about right now is our takeaways for player picks, Matt. So do you have any opinions on that? Yeah.
Just going with my guy, Martino Ojeda. My GOAT was the formula because I knew Ojeda was going to stick it. I almost put Pasalic in there too. But I think when it comes to player choices, what we can see is Sarah's nothing without being propped up by Messi. Like he wasn't available this week, and what happened? Can't beat me without Messi, huh?
That's a messy situation.
Yeah.
I hope that all of our listeners, if you need a little stick it to the man joy, go back and rewatch that game. I put it on thinking I was just going to like putz around the house cleaning and listen to it, and I was glued to my TV. Orlando comes out and scores, I think, in like the 2nd minute. And then it was literally a house cat juggling a mouse the rest of the game. Orlando ended up getting 4 goals on Miami, but there had to have been at least 2 or 3 other goals that were posts. Like, they were just hammering Ustari with shots. They you know how like Messi does that like dirty game where he just like steals the ball in the midfield and then just feeds it 30 meters, 40 meters up the field to an open player. They were doing that to Miami, and just popping the ball right up the field to a runner that was always right there. Just good soccer. Go watch that game. Also, good banter. In the last 5 minutes, the Orlando fans were chanting "Florida is purple" at a stadium that was fairly packed with Miami fans, despite it being an away game. So just let me use my fantasy section to talk about how great it was to watch Orlando beat Miami. But one of those fun games, and part of why I love fantasy so much, because I would not have watched that game if I didn't know that Matt captaining Ojeda would be the difference in the outcome of our league matchup. So good pick on Ojeda. He had an incredible game, and yay for good soccer.
I got to give you credit, too, because you kept Heel in your lineup, and I pulled him because of historic performance in this matchup, and he went off. So that was a class pick on your part. I will point out that I think it's so cool that there are 2 teams, 2 rivalries that are pink and purple, like right there in that footprint in Florida, Miami versus Orlando. I think that's really fun. The other thing I'll point out is that Orlando beat the Rapids 1-0. And Orlando beat Miami 4-1. So I'm going to go with like some weird transitive property and saying like Rapids are better than Miami.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. And yes. And that Messi-less Miami team was garbage. Anyone was better than that. And which is a bummer because I think, again, we're getting in the weeds on not on fantasy, but we've seen Miami hold up pretty well without Messi. They didn't. This weekend. But anyways, we're going into what should be my redemption arc is obviously as we are in our last 6 weeks here, 7 weeks of fantasy. So my redemption arc is going to start taking its turn. And we are heading into what is a pretty standard single game week this week. We have games, the majority of teams playing on Saturday this week, including, of course, our Colorado Rapids at home. And then on Sunday, we have 6 teams playing in 3 games, well spread out games at 3, 5, and 7 o'clock. Lots of opportunities. Obviously, like we're seeing a lot with these Apple lineups, the Saturday games are fairly tight together, so a little harder to run a switcheroo, but you do always have those Sunday game options that you can transition into. One of which I think a lot of people will be looking for these Aru options, is Vancouver playing at home against Houston as the last game of the week. A great opportunity to sub in what are likely some very good players if you have bench players who don't hit and you want to sub out your scrubs. Anything that you all are looking forward to this week?
Not so much looking forward to, but it's something to keep in your mind over the next few weeks is Leagues Cup. Those continuing to play in Leagues Cup probably going to have a little bit more gas team or rotating lineups comparatively.
Yeah, and especially because we have seen Miami, especially who is still in Leagues Cup, really prioritize some of those leagues play and reserve Messi for those leagues play. So I'll be curious to see what they do with, the one player that Matt really cares about and can't keep out of his mouth.
Which one?
Messi.
Martino
Messi.
Heda?
Yeah, Messi. The way that you manage to bring up Messi every week.
Well, yeah.
He actually has a Messi tattoo that he keeps covered up.
No, yeah, you're right. He lives rent free in my head. But we did spend like 5 minutes shitting on them. Sarah, are you gonna max out your 3 Miami players as they play Galaxy at home?
Bro, you have to, right? Also, Seattle. Galaxy made it through Leagues Cup. Galaxy was like getting some momentum, and then to lose 4-0 to Seattle at home, it's just. They're leaky. I can't imagine that Miami doesn't play Messi against Galaxy. And it's the first game of the week. So one of the first games of the week. So you can even fill your entire bench with Miami players. If they don't hit, cool. You still have 11 on the field to play with. I don't know how you don't go hard on Miami this week. What about you?
I mean, to be fair to Galaxy, like they were coming on and Seattle is that team. So I don't know, like, how deterred I'd be losing 4-0 to Seattle. Couldn't be us because, we do 3-3 comeback draws against Seattle. But, Galaxy, keep going on. You got this, kids.
Also, wasn't that in Seattle that we drew Seattle away and Galaxy?
We spotted them 3. Yeah.
Yeah, and they lost.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing, Galaxy.
Yeah, but I think as you look at this game again, check out my boy Martino Heda, because I think that matchup of Orlando at home versus SKC is going to be a goal fest. Anytime to pile on FSL, I'm going to go with my Charlotte East Coast likes to really take down the fascists in Utah.
Yeah, I think that I see a lot of games where I think there's going to be a lot of goals. I was surprised to see St. Louis really showing up last week. I had seen them as kind of a team to bet against, and they seem to have come back. They're playing Chicago, who seems to be, I don't have the data to back this up, Matt, so don't at me. But it seems like Chicago is pretty leaky, but also gets some good ones in. So I think that could be a big scoring game. Yeah, I see where I would anticipate a lot of goals coming from. I don't see a lot of immediate clean sheet options that jump out to me, other than what you brought up with maybe Orlando and Inter Miami.
What we're learning is that real fans don't look at the data.
I didn't check the numbers. I didn't look at the numbers.
I don't check the numbers.
I think there's one storyline that we haven't touched on, just from a soccer viewing standpoint, but also a fantasy standpoint, is Evander returning home to Providence Park as an FC Cincinnati star. Like, do we throw the captain's armband on him? Does he absolutely stunt on his old squad that kind of spurned him?
Ooh, great call out. And honestly, a catch I hadn't made till you just brought that up.
Yeah, that's the Saturday night game. Like, I'm going to have to go back and rewatch it because it's during the Rapids game. But, like, that's got to be must-see TV.
Yeah, I will have a hard time putting my armband on him just because I did it last week and it burned me a bit. So that will make total sense. This will be the week he goes off because I'll move my armband. But yeah, that's good. I mean, honestly, a lot of good games, because you also have Austin versus Dallas, which like don't love either team. Hope they both lose. But a derby in itself. So
which, since you've evoked Dallas, shout out Lalas Abubakar.
Yeah.
Gets the goal, gets man of the match, puts the cowboy hat on his super tall dread in one of the best photos I've ever seen in my entire life. Even Austin Trusty, old teammate and friend of Lawless, was out there on socials posting that photo wherever he could.
That was really lovely to see him back on the scoreboard and situated well into that new team.
Well, speaking of new teams, we're playing a new team this week.
Just keeps happening every week.
Just keeps
we
happening.
Play a game
every
and
week
it's
we
just
have
like
a new
one shows
team we're
up.
playing. We're actually playing a team. We're going Atlanta at home. So this will be, we should win. But let's break down the stats a little bit.
Just
because we don't care about the numbers, but I'm gonna break down the numbers for you anyway. Atlanta sits 13th in the East at 22 points, 4-11-10. Their 4 wins are all at home. They're 0-7-5 away. They have 30 goals for and 46 against. They're coming off a 1-1 draw in Montreal. The Colorado Rapids are sitting in 8th with 33 points, 9-11-6 at home. We're 6-5-2. Goals for 33. Goals against 43. The current head-to-head record between these teams is the Rapids have 1 win and Atlanta has 4. So history would say we would lose this one, but right now we are just the better team. Honestly, this is a team that we're sitting higher. I think the only thing that throws a wrench into this is the lack of Georgie. But we showed in Minnesota that we can overcome that. The question is, do we play down to our team that's coming into our house or not? What do you guys think?
Look, before we go too deep, I just have to share that Atlanta fans are some of my absolute favorite. Last time they were here, a whole bunch of them went on the bus, and they are just absolute hooligans. So fun. I have an Atlanta scarf. I traded them last time they were here. So Matt gave me a look like, are you kidding me? I've also been to 2 Atlanta away games. That supporter section is just so fun. Their like use of Bless Your Heart and Dirty South is just so fun. So this is a team that I love and love to beat. Let's go.
So I give you that look, Sarah, because I'm a Carolina Panthers fan. Bless my heart is the correct response.
Hold up.
So my view of Atlanta fans, it couldn't be like farther from yours. Like I will not speak ill of the team coming in this week. I will be a good host. My buddy Eric is an Atlanta FC fan, and he's going to come to the Rapids game this weekend. So I really need the Rapids to put in a performance that earns Eric's allegiance to turn away from the dirty South and come over to the way of water. I agree with what you guys said. I think
leave the coast and find water.
Yeah.
Come into the water, they say in Colorado.
I mean, it's Atlanta. They don't have water in Atlanta. There's like Lake Lenore outside of Atlanta.
They have more water in the
dies.
air than we have of all of Colorado.
Not wrong.
Yeah. So that's actually some important lore, kids, that you should get to know. The reason Colorado doesn't have any humidity is because we took all of the humidity out of the atmosphere and we made Rapid Man, the anthropomorphic water. That's why you can go outside and you aren't immediately dripping with sweat. That's why you can wash your clothes, put them on a line. Yeah, that guy. That's literally why Colorado has 0 humidity, because I'm going to say Marcelo Balboa and I don't know, some other mad scientists got together and just drew it out of the air and made it into a man. Rapid Man.
It gives like the river queen, like a whole different new concept. Like the fantasy river queen who like comes out and bestows the king with a sword or whatever.
Oh, you mean
And
like,
now it's like-
power being assigned by like watery bents coming out of with scepters? Are we going fully Monty Python?
That's no way to form a government. I'm just saying that it is common in fantasy to have a like queen of the river, a queen of the lake, and then we have Rapid Man, which is just consumes the.
So can we agree when the refs inevitably try and job us out of a win on Saturday that we start chanting "Come see the violence inherent in the system"?
I love it. No, I'm in.
Come on.
In case anyone doesn't know, Bangarang is a anarcho-syndicalist collective.
Yeah, absolutely. We're like halfway between the movie Hook and the movie The Beach. Like that's the type of island government we're vacillating between.
I thought we
Shout
were
out
more
the
water
beach.
worlds.
Not yet.
Okay. All right. The good
Rocky
news is-
Flats has still been kind of damned from releasing all of its uranium goodness.
The good news is that for our very niche fans who just got all those references, we've secured them for life. And the others are gone. They have turned off the podcast at this point.
Sarah, I do want to, so I don't have to edit this out. If you want to reset it, you said fans. So you just want to correct it so I don't have to do it in post. Our very niche fan.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Our one fan who got those references. Keep listening. You're all we got.
Yeah, my mom's listening right now and being like, I was so sick and tired of him playing those movies over and over and over again.
We're actually sick and tired of him playing those movies over and over and over again.
People are relieved to hear Monk's voice because they were concerned he was also one of the people who left. We started thinking those
I almost left.
Huzzah! I'm Monk. Welcome to Toronto Cast.
In the name of our Lord, bitchy.
Yeah.
That's a callback, fan.
Fan. The singular fan we have left. It's actually just Rapid Man.
Oh my God. Rapid Man with AirPods listening to PIDCAST. I'm sure it's real.
I'm just imagining that Rapid Man under the suit has like AirPods in and he's just listening to like the most scholarly podcasts or books on tapes. Like he's out there high-fiving people in this. Yeah. Scholarly. We don't look at the numbers, Monk.
We are the numbers. We feel
Interesting fact. I met the original Rapid Man out of his suit once when I was a yee little lad.
I don't understand. What do you mean? What do you mean out of his suit? What?
He was out of his. He was.
I can't take my skin off. How does that work for Rapid Man?
Monk probably doesn't believe in Santa Claus either.
It's a cool story I'll tell another day. But I did meet Rapid Man.
All right, so back into this Atlanta match. I don't know what formation we go for in total, but I want to see that same front three of Calvin Harris, Hafa Navahu, and Darren Yappy absolutely blitzing this Atlanta back line that is in shambles and still sent Noah Cobb our way and Efren Morales to Montreal. I think we put those three up top and just profit.
I agree. I just want us to actually play at our level. I want the team that was in Minnesota to come back here and play at that level. Because guess what? Balboa deserves that. Balboa deserves a blowout, 7-0 or something, all right? 17-0, just to retire the number properly. Like, we should just dominate this team, run with that energy. That's what we need. That's what I want.
Yeah, you hear that, America? You weren't good enough for us to do that on the 4th of July. But for Balboa, we're going to put
important?
out bicycle kicks. Bicycle
badge
kicks over everything.
Country, right?
Bicycle kit, the bicycle kit badge on the OG kit over country.
We actually
Sarah?
just made her silent. She doesn't even know how to respond.
No notes. Got him.
Oh, all right. What are our score positions? Let's start with Fitouri this time because she missed last time.
Yeah, but I secretly had a score in my brain and I got them all right. So that was good.
1-1 draw. That's what we put in for you.
Which would have almost got the Cruz Azul. Actually, that was pretty close on both of them. I'll take it. I like that we are still seeing scoring. We're seeing a strong attack, and we're still seeing a lot of like scoring options despite Georgie not being there. And so I think we get on the board. I think we get on the board kind of solid. I'll go because it's just like the most cliche score, like 2-1. Oh shit! But I need to be careful doing this because every time I do that, that means I have to tell you who on Atlanta I think is going to score.
Yeah. Oh, I don't even say that, but I never
2-1. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you the Atlanta score. And I think Hoffa has been hungry. I'll give him 1. And my gut says go Yappy, but I think I'm going to go Cole. I think it's been a while since. When did he score last? It's been a minute.
2 games ago?
But
Georgie's last game? Philadelphia.
Yeah, that sounds right. But he's taking a really dynamic role. There's a lot of leadership space for him to take up right now on the field, and I think, I think we're going to see one from Cole.
What about you, Matt?
Well, my reasonable score is going to be 4-0. I think we see Hoffa Brace, Darren Yappy, and Calvin Harris. I think all forwards get goals. But my real prediction is in honor of Marcelo Balboa. It's 1-7, the 1 going to Atlanta, the 7 going to Colorado. So I'm going to add in for the other 3 goal scorers onto that one, Andres Maxu, who has just been a set piece hero. If you guys watched that last game, he took a whiz of a shot that nearly tucked into the crossbar. So he's got his goal hunting boots on. And then for the other 2, I think KDP and Cole Bassett. The 1 on the Atlanta side is going to come from, I think, Schlitz. I'm deliberately mispronouncing his name for the fun of it, mostly because I can't pronounce it the right way. Monk?
All right. So I'm going to go 5-0. 1 up him.
Or 2 down me.
I'm going to say 5-0.
Do you all watch the same team I do? Week after week?
Yeah.
We left 3 sitters on the board in Minnesota, and Minnesota is so much better than Atlanta.
That Minnesota.
Minnesota. We left because that's a game. There's always going to be opportunities that are missed. We don't see 5-0 games. You all are crazy.
I don't look at
These are not realistic scores.
Energy is going to be in that stadium, and we're going to dominate. All right?
Okay. I'm gonna whisper that this is a secret. So word on the street is that Noah Cobb might not be available because of the loan terms from Atlanta. So in lieu of Cobb, the Rapids are getting a one-time exception for Marcelo Balboa to be in the starting lineup.
And he's still probably going to outperform anybody else on the field. He's that talented of a player.
And even in your fantasy world, I am keeping my 2-1 bet. Rapids don't score 5 goals. When is the last time Rapids scored 5 goals in a game? I'm going to look that up while you guys continue your fantasy world.
Now I have to go the opposite of last week, Mug, and be like, just let us have our feelings, okay?
I know. We don't want... We're kicking her off the couch.
Men are so emotional. This is why men shouldn't run the world. They're so emotional with their little sports games things. They let reason go to the wayside while they just dream big. So erratic.
All right. So I'm calling off a goal as well. I just think he's going to continue. And then I'm going to give it to our homegrowns. I think Sam Bassett gets his first MLS goal because I'm not going to count that PK. Solid PK, but still, it doesn't count. I'm sorry. Just doesn't count. We want a real goal, run a play goal from that Sam Bassett. I think that Cole gets 2. And I think Yappy gets 2.
That's 6. You just predicted 6.
I'm going to do 6. We're going to do it.
I was like, are you gaslighting me, Mom? Like watching you type it into the document because like trying to add in my head wasn't working.
I don't keep track of the numbers.
Keep riffing. I'm only back to 2023, and I'm sure I have a little ways longer to go.
If we get any combination of a Bassett and Bassett assist and goal, oof. Also, shout out Sam Bassett and Cole Bassett played together, the first brothers to play together for the Rapids since Sean and Chris Henderson. last game against Minnesota?
So the answer to y'all's question that you didn't ask, I asked for you. August 2nd.
Why are women always explaining things when it's not asked? I'm tired of getting explained to, Monk. Like,
especially in a men's sport, like I really should just be in the kitchen right now.
Yeah. Next thing you're going to tell me we need a water spigot.
She pretends that it's super far back, but I'm so excited for what she's about to say, I believe.
Are you? August 2022 is the last time that the Rapids scored 5 goals, and it was a 5-4 win over Red Bulls. So it wasn't 5-0. Let's see how far we have to. I'm going to keep going.
Sarah,
There's one before that.
Sarah,
yeah.
I hear you, and I just feel like you're wrong.
We did have one in 2021 against LAFC at home. So, once every 4 years.
Keep going. You're the one I'm excited about.
Okay.
Is it against Atlanta?
Oh my God. This only goes back to 96.
That's when the team started. If you're pulling out scores from 1992, we've got a problem here.
I think I found the one you like. Is it the 5-0 over San Jose in 2020?
Yeah, that one's solid. Solid. We also had 2013.
I found it. Okay, everyone, if you can remember the golden year of 2020, what a time to be alive. Also a 5-0 over Salt Lake. Was that played with fans, though?
We were in Salt Lake, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah.
No, we were in Salt Lake.
Lake.
That was September 2020. Were there fans?
No. But we did have a couple of fans show up anyway, because, Utah doesn't enforce rules or anything.
Just like the PIDCAST, the Rapids have one fan that always shows up.
Also, what I'm learning from this looking back is that we do our biggest goal scoring in a season where there's no fans in the stands.
Yeah, you don't know the whole meme about you don't put pressure on the team.
Saturday.
If you love the Pids, you won't go.
Should we stage a protest outside of the stadium that's like, go away, we need to win?
Didn't we do that like 2 years ago? 3? No.
Well, I mean, look, I'm just saying the walkout led to like the first victory in a while. So if we are looking at the data, which we tend not to do.
You don't need the data. It's not important.
Yeah.
All right. Well, a good note to end on is the Colorado Rapids. They're better without you. And Monk, where can people find you?
On Burgundy Sky at Monk of C38, usually behind the decks. I will not be there this week, sadly, so you get to see my man Archie covering. He's going to crush it. It's going to be amazing.
You've told him about the mandatory Chapel Roan song that he has to play?
Oh, sweetie, Archie knows. No one has to tell Archie to play Chapel Roan.
You have to tell him anything.
Love the guy. Awesome. Well, you can find me, obviously, at the Fitouri on socials, but also this weekend, C38 is hosting a supporters makers market at the Rapids tailgate, the C38 tailgate at the Rapids game starting around 4:00. There'll be a lot of Rapids supporters who also own small businesses selling their wares. So you all should definitely stop by and make sure to find myself with my business Totality of the Chaos. And of course, Omar, our lead designer on all of our fun swag and also the owner of Omega Made. So he will also have a table there. Come find us.
And my favorite band. I'm so sad I'm missing this game. Like, you have no idea. I almost canceled a trip because Balboa is retiring. Millennial Bromance is going to be there. My favorite band we bring out is going to be there, and I'm missing it. And it makes me very, very sad. But I have tickets to Backstreet Boys at the Sphere, so.
Oh, shit. You waited this whole episode to drop that?
Millennium Romance.
I'm actually seeing them twice over the weekend, I think. So it's going to be fun in Vegas. I'm sad I'm missing this game, though. I'm going to try and still catch it somehow, whether I'm just like watching on my phone or something.
Just make friends with the AV guy and see if you can get the game on the outside of the Sphere.
Like, throw it on. Just throw it on the Sphere.
That really sounds larger than life.
It does. But tell me why.
Listen, you did an entire bit with Taylor Swift references. I get one.
That's fair. Wait, you weren't going to call back to the fact that Monk and I and Archie, amongst others, did a Backstreet Boys cover at karaoke earlier this year?
Gosh.
She left before we were doing
For the record,
it was too cool for us.
That karaoke was right before the Prince cover band. Go hang out with randos. You never know when it'll change your life.
Yeah. We didn't say for the better.
Kids.
Just change your life. Hey, you didn't ask where you're going to find me.
Hey, Matt, where can we find you?
Where will you find you?
You're going to find me in this sick Omega-made PIDCAST hat all over Denver proper. You're going to find me Friday night at the Rapids 2 game. Then you're going to see me Saturday. I think just fanning it out in an OG kit, rocking for the BC Clayta badge. Most importantly, you can always find me listening to Don Chicharron, our intro-outro band, their song Especial. And yeah, you can find me listening to Sum It Up as well, which hopefully we can find you listening to.
Ayo.
Did somebody ask Fitouri where they can find her?
Yeah, we started with me.
Yeah.
Okay.
We could just
See,
keep
you
going
go
in
out of
circles.
order and it
And Monk,
completely
where-
screws me up. Completely screws me up. This is the kind of crap I have to deal with all the time. I'm sorry, guys. You guys don't realize the the bloopers that we have. You don't see.
Oh, go
Someday
play some
we'll
hockey,
release them.
kid.
Those are only on Patreon or our
Only
Pid fans.
Pids. Only Pids.
Only Pids.
Only Pids.
Wherever you find us, go watch those bloopers because they're amazing. Up the Pids.
Sarah, lean in again. If you're into rapids and paddles, then do we have an Only Pids for you?
That's the second time he's not let me finish the cast. It's fine.
Up the fucking Pids.
Gotta be fun.
All right, I gotta go soccer, y'all.